right, welcome everybody. This is Megan from Silver Circle, and I'm sitting here talking to Elijah Johnson today. Elijah is a 16-year-old precious metals and finance enthusiast. He began his YouTube channel, Unconventional Finance, which is youtube.com/unconventionalfin, and has been posting some really awesome videos with precious metal influentials and just people that are involved in the finance community recently. So I'm really excited. Thank you for sitting down to talk to me today.
Well, thank you so much, Megan, and I am glad you like my interviews.
Yeah, they're really great. And, it just fit in perfect to talk to you this week because we're holding a Precious Metals Week on our blog and website. So we're talking all things precious metals. We're covering physical metal, what's happening in the silver manipulation market. There's just so many, little conspiracies going on. There's a lot of questions people have, and there's a lot of people that want to start buying physical or stocks and ETFs and silver and gold, but they don't have that first set of knowledge. So we're trying to kind of build up a little 101 in precious metals this week for some of our fans and followers of Silver Circle. So one of our major goals here with making the movie Silver Circle is spreading the ideas of alternative currency, i.e. gold and silver, to a younger and or more broad audience. So you're a little bit of a step ahead of the game, being 16 years old and already very well versed in precious metals and finance. So what made you become interested in precious metals to begin with?
Well, for basically as long as I can remember, I've been interested in money, finance, and coin collecting. And then about, I think it was a year and a half ago, I wanted to find out how the money supply actually worked. So I just, searched on YouTube, how is money created? And I came up with this video. I think it was called Our Corrupt Money Supply or something like that. It talked about how the Federal Reserve basically creates our money and then loans it to the government or private banks or whatever. And then the private banks expand the money supply through fractional reserve lending. And then I realized the Federal Reserve, the government agency that creates our money, is not actually federal. It's a privately owned banking institution. So I kind of realized that the whole thing was a scam. And once I realized that, I was like, okay, there's high inflation coming. How do I protect myself from it? So I really wanted to protect myself. And I thought, well, I could buy gold. But then I thought, well, gold had gone up for a long time. Then I watched some other videos by Mike Maloney of goldsilver.com. And he showed me how gold is actually very undervalued right now by pretty much all the metrics that you use. So I thought, hey, that's a good way to protect yourself. And also silver is a great opportunity right now because of industrial demand and the gold and silver ratio. 50 ounces of silver right now will buy an ounce of gold. That's just an amazing opportunity throughout history. It's been around 10 or 15 to 1. So I really wanted to share this information that I had accumulated. And so I started my YouTube channel, and I started just making solo videos on gold and silver. And then I had been watching the SGT report and the Financial Survival Network and different networks like this. And then they'd been interviewing different people. So I was like, hey, I could do the same thing. So I contacted goldsilver.com because I had seen Christian Garcia on different videos and Mike Maloney. So I said, hey, could I interview either Mike Maloney or Christian Garcia? And they said I could definitely interview Christian Garcia. So I started the interview. Of course, I was a little nervous, but I got done with that. And since then, I've gotten Andy Hoffman, Bill Murphy, G. Edward Griffin, and in a couple weeks, I'm going to interview you. So yeah, it's just been great, and I've been able to spread this information, and a lot of people are actually learning from this as well. So I guess I'm very pleased about that.
Yeah, I'd say you've got a pretty hefty celebrity lineup there for your YouTube channel. And for those of you listening that haven't signed on to YouTube yet to check out his channel, it's youtube.com/unconventionalfin. So I was so impressed whenever I saw the Bill Murphy interview. That's your most recent one up on your channel right now. So that's really awesome, especially for being 16 years old. Not to say that someone 16 can't comprehend all of these ideas of inflation and what the Federal Reserve is doing to our currency. It's it's pretty fundamental and simple whenever you break it down to how the system is functioning so corruptly right now. So I guess my question to you is, most people your age you're in high school, correct? You're what, a sophomore, or junior?
Well, it's summer right now, but I'm gonna be a junior this fall.
Yeah. So most of the people your age are probably out playing basketball or doing other things like that, which I'm sure you have some other hobbies as well. But why do you think, or have you ever been able to have any breakthroughs with people your age, at school or anything like that about precious metals and inflation and the ideas of this corrupt fiat currency system?
I definitely have, but I think one of the main problems today is it's not taught. Our corruptness of our monetary system is not taught in any schools around the world. It's just they don't even teach how the money supply is, even how it works.
Right. Everyone just thinks magical government supplies.
Yeah, but it's not even the government. It's basically a private corporation that creates our money.
Exactly. And I think that's something that really blows people's minds. I remember when I first discovered, how the monetary system functions. When I found out that the Federal Reserve was a private bank, that's what opened the whole can of worms for me. I was like, what? I figured they were federal, but then, you find out they're about as federal as the Federal Express mailing service. So it's really incredible, and it's a shocking piece of information. And I find that really powerful whenever I'm talking to people my age. When I say, well, the Federal Reserve isn't even a part of the government, and they're controlling everything. When one of the taglines in Silver Circle that we push a lot through our different promotions and things like that is whoever controls the money controls everything. Do you have any specific stories of anybody your age that you've had some conversations with and maybe had a breakthrough?
Well, about a week ago, I talked to some of my friends and showed them some of my videos, and they were actually really enlightened on how the monetary system is so corrupt and that hyperinflation or huge inflation might actually be on our way. So, yeah.
Well, that's awesome that your videos are doing that. So, all right, so you got this awesome YouTube channel. I already see you've got over 300 subscribers, which is great. Congratulations on that. So what do you plan to do for the future with all of your knowledge in finance and precious metals?
Well, I had originally thought, I could become a financial advisor or a broker, but because how my YouTube channel has grown, I'm thinking of maybe becoming like a news show host on talking about the economy, or a radio host or something like that.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, people make a living doing that stuff on YouTube these days.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, some of them are pretty ridiculous, but I mean, if you've got some really valid and important information, people are going to come to you as a credible source. And I think it's so awesome that someone your age, I mean, I wish I had gotten started a little bit earlier. If I would have got started when I was 16, I would have had a great deal in terms of gold and silver on their prices back then. So that's really awesome. And I don't know, I guess, do you have any advice for anyone that is your age who maybe they're getting their first job and they're starting to think about what to do with the extra savings that they have? Like, what would you do? Well,
I mean, what I would do, I'm not a financial advisor, obviously, but what I would do is I see it that the national debt right now, if you're living in the United States or basically anywhere around the world, the debt is so big, it can't be paid off. So the only two ways we can get out of it is either by default or inflating our debt away, or just printing the money to pay the debt. And either way, there's going to be a crisis. So if you know that, then, I mean, I would suggest people should put because the dollar is going to go down. Basically, it's mathematically inevitable to deflate against other real assets. So I would say definitely accumulate other real assets with the spare money you have, like gold and silver are probably the best. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's my advice is with any extra money you have that you won't need for maybe a couple of years or 5 years, then I would suggest putting some of that at least in precious metals.
Right. You don't want to stuff it under the mattress, because by the time you pull it out whenever you're going into college, it's not going to be worth it.
Yeah.
So that's some solid advice. I think that goes across the board. I mean, inflation is real. It's happening. The Federal Reserve is still printing. The government's still requesting bailouts for large companies and other government programs. So I don't see that stopping anytime soon. And well, once again, I'm so happy that we got to sit down and talk to you today about what you're doing, and we encourage you to keep putting out more videos. And you are another great asset to teaching young people and just a broader audience, because YouTube is a great channel for that, to learn about this inflationary disaster. You know, not to be a fear monger, but I mean, there's an inflationary disaster ahead of us if, you know, we keep going down the path that we're going now. And, you know, I wish you the best of luck in the future. And thank you so much for joining us for our Precious Metals Week this week. And hopefully you'll stay tuned and come out to one of the screenings of Silver Circle and bring your friends.
Yep, and thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, awesome. And everybody else who didn't catch me the first couple times I said it, check Elijah out on his YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/unconventionalfin. And then you can also check us out at silvercirclemovie.com, and we'll have the interview posted up on our YouTube page. So thanks a lot, everybody. Have a wonderful day, Elijah.
You too. Thanks again.